fellow and former Port Authority employees for coming, and guests. And Don Hutton, you're a fellow employee as far as I'm concerned, right? Thanks for coming. There are a lot of major milestones in life. They mark time, and the biggest ones certainly are when you're born and when you die. And they sort of frame everything that happens to you in between. And along the way, there's major events. There's marriage. There's birth of your children. There's possibly your children's getting married. Everything else. And these are all major events. And then while that's all happening, if you're lucky, you have a job. And you have a job with a good company. And then, if you're lucky, you can be with a good company for a long time. And then if you're even luckier, you can choose when you leave that good company. And that's where I'm at today, after 30 years. So, we started talking about retirement, and I'm like, it's no big deal, you know? And it's something, I just get, you know, like one of these sneak out door in the middle of the night or something like that, say goodbye to people I don't know away. And my wife reminded me, "Wait, you're stupid, you had that party." And I'm like, it's not a big deal. And I really, you know what, it is a big deal. It is, when the moment is upon you, it ranks up there with life's big events, really, it does. So first off, to my freehold family, who were being represented here, my lovely wife, Karen and Cameron, Connor and Kayla couldn't make it. You know, thanks for putting up with me all these years. Thank you for making the house so wonderful that when I'm faced with the choice of commuting for 3 to 4 hours a day or spending more time with you, I choose to spend more time with you, right? Hopefully that's going to happen. You're only up to here in the hole. She liked it, okay? She doesn't listen to me anyway. So hopefully that's going to happen. Keep trying. I got it written down, so I can't screw it up. Hopefully that's going to happen in the next chapter of our lives. And then many of you have had Karen's soda bread. She told me how to make it. So, but that is just tip of the iceberg. This woman is the best cook. She's got wonderful nurturing ways, and I'm a really lucky guy. Now, then there's my work family. And you guys, I think collectively, I've spent more time with over the last 30 years than I spent with my freehold family. And finally, after 30 years, you get to meet each other. Right? Some of you met earlier. We met Trish about 28 years ago, 29 years ago. I don't know, the Port Authority really doesn't support a lot of socialization with the staff. But I'm glad you met. So, now as far as my work family, I have to say to you that without your support and friendship, I would not be leaving now under my own terms when I choose to leave. So I thank you for that, really. Family comes first. We work hard to support one another, love and mutual respect, and to stay married and to stay employed, right? That's what it's all about. So every family has a head of the household. In my house, my wife's the head of the household. If you come into the kitchen, you'll see a sign. I won't tell you what the sign says, but she's the head of the household. And in the last 14 years, we've had Rick as the leader of our department. And I have to tell you, these 14 years under Rick's leadership, as far as port commerce is concerned, have been the most exciting, challenging, transforming years, clearly, since I've been in the Port Authority, and probably in the history of the Port Authority for the port business. I was thinking about maybe when the break bulk business moved from the west side of Manhattan, a place in Brooklyn, to Elizabeth. Aaron, you could probably answer this, but we don't have time. I mean, that must have been an incredible time. But the transformation the port has gone through, I can't imagine that political and media influences of that time have been as broad as they've been and we witnessed over these last years. I mean, I think the only controversy the sport department has avoided is Bridgegate. So, to make a sports analogy, you look at great franchises, and the ones that make the playoffs year after year. And the one thing they have in common is great leadership. Great leadership in the clubhouse, great leadership in the field. And Rick, you've held the department together and the core team members together during your tenure through some pretty stormy weather. And you've done what's best for the team. And I think that's what the general manager does. Now, I also look at the great teams, and there comes a time when the Jorge Posadas and the Tommy Kleins and the Paul Neals and the Bill Ellisons, and then there's Steve Borelli, but he's more like Reggie Jackson. He brings them all the way. They all leave, and it's time to rebuild. You know, it's time to rebuild the team. And then all of a sudden, Dennis Jeter announces his retirement. And well, some people you just take the place. So Dennis and I have worked together. We started the Port Authority within 1 or 2 months of each other. And although we've competed for jobs, we've always had a mutual respect and admiration for one another. And we've got a shared, slightly acerbic sense of humor, except for he gets away with it. So the last 30 years, we've accomplished a lot. The port looks nothing like it did when I started. It's been completely transformed, and it didn't happen by itself. So to the extent I've been able to play a small role in this huge transformation of the port, I'm really grateful. And the good news is, for those that are still staying on, that there's plenty to do. And there's still plenty of talent in the department to do all that work. And you know, go ahead. I'm leaving, and I kind of feel like, you know, the opposite of Dr. Livingston. He couldn't leave because his work wasn't done. Well, I'm leaving and my work isn't done. But I think that's kind of common how you feel after you've been someplace for a long time and you're heavily involved in work. It's never done. So as far as leaving, I intend to continue to work. And if I could take the people I work with today with me closer to my home, that would be the ideal situation, because there's no other place on the planet I'm going to work and somebody's going to call me Ken Doll. That's not happening anymore. So in closing, there's a song by Elton John called Mona Lisa and Matt Hammond. And there's a short line in that song that kind of sums up how I feel. And it's simply, I'm not going to sing it, but in fact,
oh, sing it. Sing it.
She said you could sing. Yeah. She was lying. She lied about a lot of stuff. I thank the Lord for the people I have found. I thank the Lord for the people I have found. So I love you folks, and God bless. Thank you.